Okay, let's see if this is live. Good. This is the new live. There. Let's adjust this. Good morning, beautiful family in the light. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful sacred Gaia. I just finished my light code transmission activation of the crystalline diamond light body, and I felt guided to just come on here to share a couple of things. And thank you so much for joining me today. And today is really about our multidimensional selves, being these multidimensional beings, and fully embracing our galactic selves and bringing our light unto Gaia. Hello, Demetrius. Much love. And I felt it was so important to just have a few moments and share some remembrance with one another, as it's been fascinating to be a witness of many star seeds that have gotten pulled into the chaos and that in which is exposed from all the light that has been anchored onto Gaia's crystalline corridor, and what is now surfaced so that it can transcend back into light. So just a few things here as an emissary of light, as an ambassador of light, as a luminary here walking on Gaia together with my tribe, to just put a few things into perspective. So let's go over a few of these things with each other. Hello, Monica. Nice to see you. Hello, Ana Julia. So much love. Hello, Fiorella. So first and most important thing is to remember that everybody is exactly where they are. Wherever they are is exactly right. Whatever vibration that they are vibrating from, they are receiving the material that attracts into their awareness. So they're exactly where they are. What is important is for each of us to embrace exactly where we are and what we are in service to, and our multidimensional nature and our galactic self that is merging with our human self through our Christed self and through the mighty I Am presence, to embrace this now in its fullness. So that means our responsibility is to thyself, to know thyself, to fully accept thyself in its entirely. We can accept that fully within ourselves so that we can truly also embrace it in another. And I feel this is so vital because of the split energy between humanity right now. There are a lot of forces that are here to split us even greater. And whatever that creates this friction is now being embraced. So for example, the race color is out because many individuals that are vibrating in the consciousness of the third dimensional construct, they are identifying themselves with a race or a religion or a nationality. As their frequency has arisen, they're able to see themselves outside these realms of construct. So those of you on this call typically are like that. You do not identify yourself at all with these because your vibration has arisen from this limited perception from what the self is, although it is part of it, but it's not its entirely capturing the essence of it. So as our galactic self is being remembered through our multidimensional nature, we're connecting more to our Lyran presence, our Andromedan presence, our Syrian presence, and Arcturians, or Avalians, or Pleiadians, and there are so many others. So that part is becoming remembered through the keys and the codes and through the ancient knowledge from each of these civilizations, what we embraced, what we lived as, what we were into from the higher dimensional consciousness. And all of that is embedded back with us so that we can bring it to the light. Let me see here. I'm about to lose my battery. Give me a second. Let me grab the, give me a second. I hope you all can hear me. It seems like the live stream is pretty slow here. One moment. Let me bring the battery. Okay, thank you for waiting. So, having said that, it is interesting to see how many individuals have forgotten who they really are in this. The individuals I'm speaking to is the starseeds that have forgotten who they really are and what their purpose on Earth is, yet they're being pulled into these areas of density that is transforming and transcending. As a galactic being, we're carrying the galactic knowledge. The galactic knowledge is connected to the field of consciousness all across the universe. And we are working with the Galactic Federation of Light and the Intergalactic Councils. We're working with the spiritual hierarchy of light that has ascended already and we back into the human form. We're carrying that part of us with us so that we can serve it onto Earth and assisting the ascension. So how can we really assist the ascension if you pulled into the race card that we are this color or that color? It is the most ridiculous to be the most ridiculous consciousness, because we are a ray of light. That we are is not a color of our skin. And this is so interesting that this limited perception is still being played out, and many starseeds are unfortunately falling into it. The other part of it has to do with the nationality or the religion. These are old construct, old matrix programs that at one point had a purpose, but we came into resolving it and dissolving it. So we cannot support energetically these constructs because they're part of withholding our multidimensional galactic self back from operating and functioning and serving its call here on Gaia. So if we're bringing our light from our multidimensional self, we bring it to all these areas of density. That means we cannot be caught in the density that is here to transmute and transcend back into light. So when also starseeds are so pulled into, let's say, this political game, this massive entertainment, really, it is entertainment, and taking sides from this politics or that politics, whatever it is, red or blue, whatever it is, and are not staying above it to recognize what's being played out. Again, your energy is being pulled rather than bringing your light to expand it and expose it. By expanding and expose it means you're bringing your heart energy into it, you are hearting it, you're bringing your love into it, so it transmutes back and finally release, because there's so many layers within this matrix that has held the consciousness in a tight sort of sphere, so that anybody that is within their head, their mental plane, is going to be automatically plugged in. The only way you're not plugged in is if you stay in your heart. And when you stay in your heart, you're able to use discernment and navigate through it, because that light of love is able to navigate through these fields and is able to shine very brightly your path as a luminary here walking on earth. So you don't get caught in all of these debris that have to be dismantled, that have to fall literally apart. So where your sacred energy is being invested is extremely important and vital right now. As a galactic being, you're carrying knowledge of the galactic consciousness. You do not recognize yourself as a human being. You fully embrace your humanness. As this sacred holy temple has a job to do. It is of purpose, it is of service, it is here to carry a light. But it cannot carry the light when you're operating from your shadow and you keep being pulled into all these limitations and belief structures and the attachments. And the attachments are to, for example, the biggest one is right now this political game. It's so hysterical when you're being pulled there. It's literally leaking there. Or you're being pulled into this thing with mass. The breath is not vibrating, is not expanding. You can see right through it. When you can see crystal clear through all the agendas. Or for example, this new thing with challenge, the black and white challenge, put your photography up there as a way of supporting sisterhood. You can see right through what it is. So of course I decline all of this and I do not consent. You can see through the United Nations agenda. You can see through the World Health Organization. You can see the layers and layers so clearly when you're staying in your heart. And you're able to use discernment to recognize, okay, this doesn't resonate, this doesn't resonate. My galactic self, as my multidimensional self, is able to navigate these realms so easily and clearly. So my energy being sacred, I can support this or I can support this that is part of the structure of the new ways of earth, of the new cities of light. So it is only built on light. It is only built on love. I cannot support my energy with what is built on control, programming, conditioning, dark, freedom being taken away. I cannot give my energy, invest my sacred energy into these areas, because I'm here to radiate my love and co-create the new worlds with my love, with my other star seed family, with their light, with their ray of light. All the different rays of light that vibrates through us has its own frequency, has its own signature, has its own quality that is coming from our higher dimensional aspects to be brought into this plane to bring the new ways through. The new ways are so-called new ways, but they're really not. They're the ancient ways of the ancient beings that we are. It's pretty simple. But we're here to co-create that together. So it has to be built on the ways of love, on the foundation of love. So when we're pulled apart, we can't even see, because simply we toss everything out because it's coming from this angle and that angle. We're unable, through our attachment, because we're pulled into the dark from our shadow operating, we're not going to be able to bring the light through. The light is to be remained in light. That means it's clear. You're bringing the light into the darkest. Just like when you go into the room that's pure dark, you bring in that flashlight, boom, it can be seen. So you cannot be pulled by your dark into the dark to try to dismantle it. That's why going into this battlefield between what the doctors posted, mask, unmask, all of these things is like a is an area. It is still very important to speak your truth and be clear with your truth and stand up in your truth, but not in a battlefield. From the power of your divine love, from the power of your multi-dimensional galactic self. From this place, you communicate clearly. From this place, you serve. From this place, you have no energy to waste in arguments and in trying to prove a point. That's not, you didn't come to Earth to try to prove a point. You didn't come here to try to back up your data or in the third dimensional reality. You'll see science of Earth is very outdated. It's not new science. The quantum field is so behind. We being quantum beings, we experience it like this, the reality, because the light expands just like that. We're able to experience it. And when we use discernment, we don't need all this knowledge to feed our mental body, because we're able to experience it instantly. What is in resonance, what is not, because we're working with a frequency and vibration. And as multidimensional galactic beings, that's how we decipher what comes into our field, what is in resonance, what is in dissonance. Very simple. And it remains in trust, the trust of the heart, the trust of the higher mind, the trust of the divine truth, with connected to source light and all the way to Gaia. And it connected deep into the heart of Gaia, because it is to be brought into our template to ground it. So I wanted to just come on and share this with us briefly. Hi, Patty, nice to see you. Because I feel like a lot of starseeds are finding challenge in remaining in their heart. I know many light workers that I am astonished by how much they pulled into the density that they came to dismantle, but because of their attachment, and especially the lower three chakras that's so pulled in, they can't even see that they're inside an invisible prison, because they're pulled back into the matrix and they can't even find their way. So lots of love around that, lots and lots of love around that, and in full trust that the starseeds will connect back to their star consciousness, the present, and their true vibration outside the humanly earthly realm. And they bring that gift back into their physical temple, because this physical temple is a holy temple, so that it can serve the higher work through, but not be attached because it is of this color hair or this color skin, or if it's this nationality because it came into earth from that nationality, or it's in this gender. These things are consciousness that are tied into third dimensional presence that has to be dismantled, because it doesn't vibrate the golden age reality. Thank you, Maida. Exactly, that's the post I put between the black and white channel. It doesn't, there's so much more underneath it. I'm very vocal about what I will not resonate. And also, know thyself. Stand. Do not be afraid to be who you are. Do not be afraid to go against what the media or the mainstream is portraying or proclaiming, because we as starseeds, we came here to not challenge it, but bring ours to it. So we will stand out as the outcast, as the rebellions, and I proudly wear that. I am a living indigo crystalline rebellion. I did not come to follow at all the mainstream in any way. From day one, it's been to dismantle the tradition, the religion, the belief systems, and it still continues. So as a result, I will not follow these, let's say, black and white challenges as to demonstrate my sister bond. I can see right through it. That doesn't even resonate with me. I cannot support wearing masks in the name that I am supporting being kind, in supporting, for example, making people feel safe because they're so pulled into the dark from so fear. Fear has pulled them under. So, having said all of that, my son keeps calling me. I'm going to be cutting this short. And just want to share a few of these things with you. The other part is the social distancing. The social distancing, I can also see through it. This joy that we have that radiates out of our mouth, out of our breath, carries light stream. It carries so much light stream when we speak. Even our breath vibrates this frequency out. So why would I want to cover it? Why would I want to cover this? I came in the Middle East, cover the hair, cover this, cover this. We can see right through it. I did not come here for that. And with respect to elderly, all of that. But I cannot comply with that in which is in separation of the higher calling here on earth. We came to anchor our light, and it is through the power of our love. And it is through standing in our ray of love, in our truth. And I can decipher through all of these planes by this clarity, by this inner GPS very strongly. And I can also see through the layers of it when it is coming from a field-based thoughts and programming. So cannot support it. As a multidimensional galactic being, the galactic truth through its resonance and the sound of the origin of my soul incarnation, it is using discernment to be able to find what is in resonance and what is in dissonance. So it's very easy to navigate through this. And I welcome all of you to come back home, come back to your heart, come back to your sound, come back to your golden light, anchor it deep within you. Disconnect for a while so you can be stronger back in here. So then from there, there's no force, there's nothing other than your beingness and your true vibration to radiate through. I don't have to unfriend anybody as I speak this. Those that are in dissonance will already go sideways as it's been happening. The more you stand in your truth, the more you stand out as an outcast during this time, and non-compliance because you are considered a rebel. If anything, there was a funny also a post written about how we that are not supporting the mass, we are now considered sociopaths or psychopaths. It's quite interesting because we will not give our power to that in which has to dismantle because it's artificial, because it is not created on divine's love. So when we challenge it, we are politicized or we're considered the non-compliance because we're creating problem. Let that judgment also be. It's okay. But when you know your truth, you know what you're standing on. And you know what you're going to radiate, what you're going to support, what you will not support with ease, peace, and grace. And may you also remember that the creator in you, you as a co-creator, divine being, a sovereign being of light and love, you are answering to the one in your mighty I am presence that's being a witness to you. So you can fool everyone, but you cannot fool yourself because that part of you is coming in. So you might as well stand tall in your truth because that presence wants to radiate out of you and it's got a job to do. And when you embrace your multi-dimensional galactic self, you no longer hide. You will be exactly as you are. Speak as you are. Communicate in the languages that you are communicating to. It's pouring in. You are radiating, and you don't have to at all force anything or try to convince anything. And I found it very interesting, Fiorella, you will be resonating with this, that there are individuals that we know, they carry so much light. Like this thing that happened with the videos of the doctors. I actually sat and watched it, and my resonance was like, wow, much respect, they're speaking. Nothing to do with politicizing. But light workers that are so pulled into politics, they wouldn't even bother even listening. So then they're coming from their own amazing so-called shadow judgments. And that's okay as well. That's also part of it. That is the part of the true revelation, because this is the Great Awakening. In this Great Awakening, you yourself are awakening to your galactic multidimensional self, and you are being given the choice to decide how you choose to walk on Gaia. And do you choose to walk soul as a soul embodiment into the human borrowed form, carrying your light, or are you choosing to follow the sheeps that you came to not follow? It's so amazing and clear to me. So the choice resides in you, and that's part of your own resurrection. That's part of the voice of your truth, and that's part of you deciding really and choosing where your energy signature is going to be invested in, and how it will be celebrated with the rest of the starseeds, because this job is part of the starseed uniting as one, and they can only unite as one with the power of their love, backed up by the galactic self, backed up by the multidimensional self. It cannot be done through the human self and its attachment to all of these programs that is crumbling and dismantling, because the true resurrection light has been able to totally clear all of these debris and transmute them back into light, and it's seen clearly. So pretty simple. Much love, so much love to all of you. I just had to share this, and it's beautiful to walk with those of you who are vibrating the same resonance. It's so joyous, and the voice of the Magdalene that is here. So as we go into the 8-8 Stargate, more stream of light coming in, and more stream of light, you just gotta be in it. And how are you in it? When you are breathing with the power of your love, standing so tall in your truth, and you're able to know where that mental body is and where is your higher heart. You are the witness through your mighty I Am presence and through your mighty Christ itself that is seeing everything through your crystal clarity, and you don't get caught in any of these degrees. Iram kuyumira kantaye miyatura ran tiramura kiat mara kiatiat aram turak miyat ayaki aram turak miyakirati taranku atirakinya iritaki irakmiyat hunakayati rakanta iram hutanakiati. Aho everyone, so much love. There's so much coming up on Lions Gate. This Lions Gate is so fascinating. Please watch my old video that I posted from 5 years ago on my YouTube page, and on my Facebook page. It will share quite a bit about this, and I'll be sharing about the keys and the codes of this Lions Gate, particularly connecting with your infinite self, your infinite consciousness. Your infinite consciousness is beyond this earthly realm. Will you be willing to accept yourself as the multi-dimensional infinite being that has lived in so many star systems, that has its codes and keys embedded in it, that is ready to deliver it in this plane? And the only way you can do it if you come in your heart, and you gotta let go of these attachments, otherwise you're not going to be able to deliver it. When you come in it, surrender into it, and you push this head energy that's plugged into the matrix aside, and you breathe back into your heart, and you come back in the celebration of your joyous, luminous radiance, you'll be able to start remembering and start radiating. And you deliver all the goods onto this plane through all your bodies streamlined. Because when it's blocked here, you can't bring it. And the corona has a purpose to illuminate this so you can stream it through. And this whole thing is not by accident. It's also part of the divine plan. May you embrace that so that you are given the choice to live through your golden illumination. And this is a huge part of that vertical axis through the central sun, through the galactic sun, in alignment of the Sirius gateway into the pyramid of Giza and the royal lions that are assisting the Stargate, so that you are fully expanded into your royal essence, the royalty, that means you're royal in your ray of light, the ray of your truth that has the divine inheritance in it. May you all remember. That's all I can wish for in this now. So much love. Thank you for being with me. I love you all so much. Much more to come. I'll share more on the 8th Stargate soon. Bye-bye.